all. Rose has given us some really cute Thankful Thursday pieces on her Ko-Fi page and some Friday freebies this month. And Sophie from Sophie's Crafty Corner is working on one of the sets and making a satchel. So I didn't want to duplicate what she did, mainly because I'm intimidated that I couldn't do it as well. So I'm going to try to do a little flip-flop journal and show you guys what I wanted to do with it. She's using 2 kits. I'm using 2 different kits. And the ones I'm using are the Roots and Wings Rituals and Spells and the Apothecary Satchel pieces. One of them is a Thankful Thursday from 5/22, and one will be coming out this Friday on 5/29. And these are kind of what the papers are going to look like. So I made a couple of little journals to insert into the envelope background, and then some pieces to decorate the outsides of. That's how far we're going to go with this. Then I will post pictures after I get it completely decorated and show you guys what I did. Because, as I have said before, if you've watched any of my videos, I don't know what I'm doing till I start. So I don't usually have a plan. I tried to work it out a little bit of this before we started so that you didn't have to wait while I hemmed and hawed. On my envelopes, they are a little more than 7 inches by 5 inches. On the flap itself, I have scored a 1/4 inch because I'm going to glue them together at that 1/4 inch mark, so I have a little bit of a spine here. And that is where I'm going to put the 2 journals. So these were a little smaller than what the pages for that ended up printing out. I didn't adjust my printing any, so I had to trim them down a little bit. So you don't get the full effect of what all journal pages are. So if you're doing this, you might experiment and see where you would like to have your pictures and scale them down a little bit. I wasn't sure what I was going to be making when I started printing this. Then I printed them and they were all half size, so then I printed them again and I didn't want to have to print them 3 times. So that's where we're going with this one. Okay, so I have 3 of these envelopes, and on the second set, this one is going to fold like this, and this is going to be our little bitty spine here, which is that 1/4 inch. And that's where our pages are going to fit into here. And then I'm going to have another one, and it's going to flip to the back. And so just to kind of give you an idea of where we're going with this. This one I'm going to actually put the flaps together. And if I end up sneezing or coughing, guys, I apologize. I have horrible allergies, and I can't seem to quit sneezing. That's why I haven't been doing very much online, is because I don't want you guys to have to listen to me cough and blow my nose. So I'm going to cover up that glue on the first one that I'm tucking in. And we want to make sure that our 1/4 inches are lining up together. And then I just glued that down so I can still use this as a pocket if I want to. I don't know that I will, but that's available for me. So I want to make sure that that glue seals down in there. And then we're going to flip that over, and we're going to tuck this one in the very same way. I don't want a flap that's going to be coming in and out because it might get caught on things as I'm putting stuff together. But you do want to make sure you cover up the adhesive that is on your envelopes. So that little sticky piece that you lick, you want to make sure that that's covered, because if for some reason it ends up getting wet and it sticks wrong, it will ruin your envelope if you want to use it as a pocket. So we're gonna just make sure that those are stuck down really good there. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to have a piece that flips back this direction. We're going to fold it and crease it, and then we're going to fold it on the other 1/4 inch mark. My grand puppy is walking by, so if you hear something, that would be her. She likes to keep me company when I'm crafting. Okay, so then I have this that we're going to glue to the outside, and I'm going to, on the very front cover, I'm going to glue it completely down. And I had double printed it, so it does have a picture on the back, but I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. I like to use a little bit of a glue stick, and you can use either Barely Art glue, art glitter glue, or Fabri-Tac for my staying power. The glue stick just kind of gives it a little base, makes it a little slipperier, I think. So if I have to adjust where I'm putting the paper, it gives me more time to do that adjusting. So I'm going to open this back up. My line is here. And glue it all. Whoops, that's a little crooked though. And that's why I like the glue stick, because it lets me take a second to reposition. This piece is just a little bit bigger. I'm having issues here, sorry. Than my envelope, which is okay. I can trim that up once we get it finished. There. And then I'm going to burnish it down. Since I picked it up a couple of times, I may have to go back in and re-stick those down. And so it is just a little bit bigger. In my envelope, and there's my front cover. Okay, and so then I'm going to take the second piece and I'm going to do the very same thing, and that's going to be my back side cover. So if you see, they're going to end up matching. I think I will ink a little bit where I had cut that down the middle, as you can see a little bit of the white core. I usually think of orange as being more of a fall color, probably because of pumpkins and squash and that kind of thing. But I think that these are really pretty and they make me think of springtime. So, okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. Oh, no, we're not. Sorry. I want to make this into a pocket. So we're going to wait and let that dry a second and we'll come back to it. So then I have, sorry guys, as I said, I usually do this as I'm going, and so there are times I have to rethink about what it was I was planning on doing. Okay, so I'm going to use this one as a pocket. So I'm going to glue it where this leaves this flap here. And this one says recipes. So I'm going to re-ink. And I'm going to ink around my envelope a little bit because of the fact that you're going to be able to see some of that. So I'm going to measure here, just pretty much eyeballing. My glue's getting to the end of its bottle, so I may have to grab my Fabri-Tac just because my art glitter glue is also to the end of the bottle. going to, and I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not measuring it, so it may be a little closer to the top or a little closer to the bottom than it shows up. We're gonna squeeze that down, and then I'll have cards that I will put into this little envelope here. And then I'm going to put this one on the back. It's going to cover up this flap, so nobody will know that that flap is there. I'm sorry I'm inking on camera. I know that's so boring, but I wasn't sure how to do it before I glued all the envelopes together so that you guys didn't have to watch. And I don't know for sure if this is going to be on Wild Rose Bohemian's YouTube channel or just in the Facebook group. It's whatever Rose wants to do with it is fine with me. I will be putting it on my page also, on my Facebook page, which I would love for you guys to come over and follow me there. I show a lot of the same things I show on her art studio Facebook page, but I also show a lot of things that I do for a couple of the other groups. So we're gonna glue this one down. And this is just going to be for decoration. It's not going to be a pocket. It's not going to be a tuck, anything like that. This one's just purely decoration. I don't want to make it too fat because I want it to be able to close, excuse me, without being a gator mouth. So this is the way it's going to go. Let's see if that piece dried a little bit. It did. So we're going to just put glue down the side here, around the bottom. As you can see, I touched my ink pad with this, so there's a big brown stain, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to match this up with my front corners, and now I'm going to come in and just do a little thumb notch there. So and that will be how that looks. How that looks if I get it even. It's not going to be even anywhere, which probably comes down to me cutting it a little bit crooked. Okay, and then again, I'm going to trim this up here. And so this will be my back cover, this will be my front cover, and then I just have this one to decorate and this one to decorate. And again, this one's an envelope, and this one's an envelope here. And then we have the tuck here. So we can do a lot of different things in that. I will probably just cover this one up. I'm probably just gonna stick this envelope down because I don't think I need all these pockets. The Thankful Thursdays are a little smaller kit. It's not like it's a great big kit, so there's not that much stuff to put into all of them. So I'm going to just stick that down, and let's see what we have that we could put into this on this page. This is a set of spines, but I think that will work really well. So I'm going to pause this for just a second, and I'm going to do some cutting, and I'll come right back. Okay, so I got the two pieces cut out for the rest of our envelope decorations, and I already inked them. I'm gonna give it a little glue stick to give us some wiggle room. And I use Scotch permanent glue stick if anybody's interested. A lot of people use the Yoo-hoo. I've used it, I like it fine. That one I have to always order online from Amazon. We don't carry it any place in Casper. Sometimes I've been able to find Scotch permanent glue here in town, but lately the only place I can get it is online. But you can use whatever kind you like that you find that works for you. So this is our front. This is where our journal is going to go. This is our back. Our other journal is going to go here. And then I have this little piece, which I had to cut the butterfly in half to make it fit. So it's been murdered. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the butterfly people out there in the world. And I'm going to leave this kind of as a flap. I don't know that I'll end up using it as an envelope, but I'm going to glue it just in case I decide to use that as I go through all of the pieces and extra little things here. So I make sure I get it to the edge here and squish it down there. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a little cutout there, so it can be used as an envelope. So that's going to be our base, our cover for this. I'm going to put the pin back in my glue so it works. Okay, and so then I have the two journals, and I haven't embellished any of them yet. I do have all of this that I have already backed my journal cards, and I have all of these pieces. Then there are, I made another little purse here, has the little hinges at the bottom. I will probably go around those with some gold stickle to add a little shimmer and shine. It'll open up, and then I made like a little accordion pocket here on it, and that will tuck down inside of a pocket. There are a lot of seed packets that Rose did on these. There's all of these, and then each seed packet has a corresponding card that I backed, and a couple of them have two. So they will go in the journals on the pages as I get it decorated. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and I won't make you guys watch me do all the decorating, but I will add pictures as we go, and then I will do a follow-up video showing you how it ended up turning out. There are a couple of little purses and satchels here. This one I made, and I'm going to be, it comes on a page like this. This is exactly how it is. So when I cut out the bottom part of the purse, I just left the white part on the top. And then I cut it out and I backed it because there were two pieces of it. So it's the same graphic on both sides. And I left this little piece here, and then I've cut this out, which is double the size of that, and it will fit down in the pocket. So this will be we will be making a little pull-out notebook in case you're new and you've seen these and you're not sure how people do them. A lot of times they do them with teapots and cups and anything, dressers and drawers and bookcases that you can pull part of it out and add a little bit of notebook paper or cardstock or something. I find that cardstock works best because you want something that's a little bit heavier that'll slide in and out of those pockets. And this one I just folded over, But you can make 2 separate pieces and back them up together. But this is just cardstock. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's craft cardstock, and it has a little bit of a design on it. And then I glued the bottom part of the purse or satchel down around the edges. And there you have the little card that was, whoops, except that it's not dry. Will slide in and out, but the piece that you attach to this is attached to the top piece, so it won't come off. Let's see if we can do that a little better. And that will slide down inside the pocket. So that's going to be the front part of my satchel. I do have some handles cut out too, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to attach them because they may stick out too far out of the journal. And so that will be something that I decide as I go along. But there are the little handles that go with it, and I will stiffen these up. I will do double here, but I may also add a little bit of paper in between, a little cardstock in between, so the handles are a little stiffer. And I will tell you in the final flip through which way I decided to go with that, so that you know. But I'm going to make this as a wrap around my front journal. So we're going to put it in here. I'm going to do just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch on this. Sometimes I do these with grommets and elastic, but this envelope was just a little bit too short to do that with. So I'm just going to sew those in, and same way that we always do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I have a little bit of kind of orangish brown twine here. It's wax thread, and because this one's so small, I'm not even really going to measure much. I'm just going to use my pokey tool and make sure that my satchel is kind of centered there. I'm going to go ahead and use a couple of clips to keep it even. While I make the holes. And I'm just eyeballing this one. If this was a large journal, I would definitely be making a template to make sure that all my holes were in the same spots and make them even. But this is such a little bitty thing that I'm just going to do it quick and easy here. I will measure this up against the next signature so that it doesn't look funny from the outside, that the holes are not even. So and these are just seamstress clips. They people use them to hold their seams together when they're sewing material, but I think the junk journal world has taken them over and uses them for paper crafting also. So I'm going to just measure this here, make my holes in the other journal. It doesn't want to work that way. It's ripping my envelopes, so let's just do it this way. Okay, and then I know that everybody says use 3 lengths. I usually use about 2.5. Use what works for you. And again, I'm going to pause this so that you don't have to watch me trying to sew this in together, because that's kind of boring. And okay, I paused it, but I had technical difficulties, so my video closed out. So this will be the second video in this, and I'm just tying my strings here. The envelopes themselves are too lightweight since I didn't have them covered with any paper. I had to go back in and add some washi tape on the spine piece so it didn't rip through, because the first one that I sewed on, it ripped all the way down. So I'm going to do a little bit more work to make sure that that looks a little better. But this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to start decorating it. I will add some pictures and then we'll do a final flip through. But as you can see, I just sewed in a journal with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm so glad I didn't leave the video on, because that would have been painful for me and for you guys. I probably will have to trim this one up a little bit. It seems like it's a little bit long for fitting in here. This one works pretty good. And then I will finish decorating it. I will come back and tell you guys everything that I did and how to make it, how to finish it up. Thanks. Have a nice night. Hi all. Here is my finished little flip-flop journal that I made with Rose's Remedy kit and the Thankful Thursdays that are free for her members on Ko-Fi for May 22nd and May 29th. I had some technical difficulties with this one. That's why I didn't come back on and show you how I was making it. I did not double the envelopes on this first page, and that was a big rookie mistake, because when I stitched my 3-hole pamphlet stitch in, it ripped the whole side of the envelope down. So I did some repairing with some washi tape, and I didn't have as much problem with this one because there were 2 envelopes that were doubled here. So just know, if you're going to do a flip-flop journal, that you want to make sure that you're making sure that the envelope is sturdy enough for you to sew through or put your signatures into. So so I did put washi tape on both spines and wrapped it around the corners of both sides of the spines, and then I went ahead and added some lace to it, just because I did not like the way that the washi tape looked, because it was thinner and you could see where it met up over the strings. So this is a little pocket here. I added a couple of little journaling cards in here, and then some embellishments. This was the satchel. I ended up not putting the handles on it, even though it does come with handles, just because it made it stick out too far, and I wanted to be able to tie this shut. So this was from the little satchel. Then with the little note card that I showed you how I made. Here's another journaling card, and another one here that has a little teeny journaling card with a sentiment on it at the top. There is much writing space in this, so it might be a good journal for gardening, or if you're planting flowers this spring, especially since it's a remedy and kind of gives you some different little seed packets in here. It might be fun to put all of your gardening stuff. This is a belly band that I made one of the little envelopes that just slides up and down with it, and then a journaling card inside with a couple more of the little teeny ones. And these are the size that these little envelopes come. I just had done them accidentally, 2 to a page, and so I rolled with it, and I used the little ones in the book also. So I have another one here. So that just being said, that if you make a mistake, don't throw away what you printed. Don't get mad at yourself. Just see how you can work with the mistakes that you made, and it adds some creativity. Sometimes it just makes you have to think a little bit. So there's quite a few of the little sayings here that I used. A couple of more journaling cards. And this was off the bottom of a journaling card, and I just cut it off and made a side tuck out of it. Another little envelope. This one also has 2 in it. I'm trying to use up everything that I print. I still ended up with a whole envelope of extra pieces for this, but they're cute enough that I could probably add them to another little journal. Another couple of little journaling cards, and then I used one of the vertical ones, horizontal ones, sorry, as a pocket here. This is the little satchel that I made that flips up, and it has like a little accordion pocket inside of it, and then you could still journal on it here, write things, and then it has some stickling in gold as decoration on that. Another little tuck up, another sentiment, some more here. The little belly bands that I put in the middle, I made them a little smaller and I added them as a journaling card there. A little belly band here. And a journaling card here behind this little belly band. And that's the other side of the little satchel. Then this was my piece that we just put in here and we didn't add any pockets to. And then the back page has a couple more of the little envelopes with some cards inside of them. And a larger journaling card there that we stuck into that pocket that we made together. And then this is the other side of that. So there's two pockets there. Here's another satchel that I did attach the handles to. And I made another one of these little tucks here that I showed you how in the last journal. And then a couple of more little things that are stuck in the pockets. And I think there's 4 of these this size that are the same theme but different patterns. So a couple of blank pages here, a couple more of the little three little envelopes, and they have the little pieces on the inside. An up tuck here. There's lots of little sentiments in the Remedy kit, and I'm going to get the link to that. I didn't have it because Rose had just sent it to me, so I will get that and I will add it to the video that I posted Thursday morning, and then with this one. A couple more little cards with some sentiments and a little tiny belly band in this. And these I just printed the pages half size. So, and this belly band is just a scrap that I had left over because, as I had told y'all in the first video, my pages had to be cut down quite a bit to fit the envelope size. So I had quite a few scraps. So I used those throughout the book. Another one of the little tucks here, and a fussy cut, a side tuck here, some more blank pages to write in, some more sentiments, another journaling card, then this pretty graphic here. And then it just takes you back to the front, and then I just used my ribbon to tie it as a closure. So I hope you enjoyed that. Really quick and simple. It didn't take me very long. The longest thing that took me is I had to sew the signatures in 3 times because I ripped the first one and then I had to redo it. And then when I put it back together, I forgot to put the satchel that I was using as a wrap in it, so I had to re-sew that one back in. So the very front one I had sewed in 3 times, and the back one I sewed in twice. So that is the longest that it took me to make this. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be glad to answer them. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day.